guys, so this is my 6th devlog now. It's been a while since my last one, but that's because I've been up to quite a super big amount of stuff with the game, like putting together levels and making new areas and adding new enemies and debugging, loads of debugging, making sure the game doesn't crash constantly, that kind of thing. But basically, yeah, I'm hoping to show you what I have done today, and I hope you enjoy. So one of the first things I'll get into is the forest area that I've put together. I had forest assets that I was putting together small test areas with, but I hadn't really had a proper level to do anything with. So now I actually have an area that's hopefully going to be in the final game. And I've added enemies into the overworld, so you can see enemies kind of running around the place as well, and they have enemy AI where they chase the player up until a certain radius and then they kind of run back to where they've come from. Something else big that I've added is a third party member. Leopold the monk takes a melee approach to battle and is perfect for landing devastating crits behind enemies' backs. At the moment, he has a basic punch attack, as well as a spin punch attack that hits enemies in all squares surrounding him. So the starter part of the game is finally complete. There's the main character, that's an all-rounder with magic and melee attacks, a ranger Art that can do weak melee but strong ranged hits, and Leopold who can do devastating melee damage but has no ranged attacks. You might see these two new enemies here as well, the spider and the wolf. So these are slightly more difficult enemies than the goblin and the bat, as the goblin and the bat don't have any special moves, while as the wolf has a bite AoE that it can use on 3 players in front of it, while as the spider actually has a poison attack. I've created loads of battle maps as well for all of these new enemies to go in, and so that when you run into an enemy you won't end up in the same battle map. So for the entire forest area so far, I have 16 different battle maps. So there's 12 that are kind of riddled throughout the forest area, and then 4 of them will be in a cave that is actually situated below the forest area. I've added some small tweaks as well to the battle system, so there's the likes of damage numbers now, and they'll show up in different colours for different things. So a light kind of aqua green is for when one of your party members lands a critical hit. White text is for when a normal hit is landed. Grey is for when a hit gets missed, and red text is for when an enemy is attacking. Something that I've added to the battle system is positionals. So now when you hit an enemy at the back or at the sides, it has a higher chance to hit than from the front. So the sides have a little bit more of a chance to hit, and the back has a significantly higher chance to hit. I've also added some controller support. So now basically you can switch easily between controller and keyboard controls without too much worries. Now, the controller support is in its very early stages, so there are some bug fixes to be done, but I'm quite happy with how it feels so far. I'll probably change the camera to something different, but for now I'm quite happy with how it works. As you can see, the bumpers are used to switch between party members when you're selecting party members for easy access to each. And then going through the menus is simply using you can either use the D-pad or the left joystick. There's some simple things as well, like A to select and B to go back on your last move. So now you can actually also undo movements as well, which is a handy thing for if you thought you were in range of something but turns out you actually weren't. So something else I've added to make the battle system more interesting is that now each move basically has a stat attached to it. So it will be either a magic type move, a range type move, or a melee type move. And depending on the type of move, different stats will actually come into play in calculating the damage numbers for those moves. So we have attack stats and defensive stats. And I have a nifty little diagram here to explain how it works. Just keep things simple. Another thing that I've added, which I probably should have added a long time ago, is leveling up. So basically now when the player hits a new level, it'll tell them at the end of the battle, but also it will increase the stats depending on the party member. So certain party members have main skills that will level up quicker because they have more skills that are relying on those stats. So I'll show you the stats here before, and then a little quick battle will happen. I'll just speed it up so that it doesn't take too long. Um, and then after, you can see that the stats have actually been increased. So I haven't actually fixed up the stats so that the right stats are getting increased yet, but that's just a matter of changing a few numbers. I want to sort out the balance before I do that. So, and balancing is going to take a little bit of work, a lot of play testing. But for now, I do have that they gain different amounts of health as well. So Leopold actually gains 4 health per level, while as the main character only gains 3 health, and Art gains 2 health. So that's because Leopold is always going to be a melee type, and he's always going to have to get in there in the action, so he's naturally going to take more damage, while as the others are a little bit more of a mixture and they can decide to stay back or move in a bit. So thank you so much for checking out this devlog again. If it's your first time here, thanks for coming and taking a look. I have a few other devlogs as well talking about the battle system and the likes. But feel free to like and subscribe. So I will hopefully see you in the next devlog then.